we've got the first release of 2023, Dominaria Remastered. I'm actually curious how many of you guys were planning on getting this. Up until about a week ago, I actually was planning on just skipping this set. Didn't really seem too spicy for me, or wasn't really sure what I thought about it. And, you know, the last half of the last year for Magic was a little bit mediocre, I guess, to say the least. But so this didn't really catch my eye too much, but people who got these early in this past week have been opening them up, and I mean, it seems like they're pretty packed full of value right now. So I wanted to get this to just check it out and see what we got. It's almost, given that it kind of goes up back all the way through Magic's history, it's kind of like almost a replacement for Magic 30. They even got that right there on the box. So I don't know. Well, I think a lot of people seem to be pretty happy with it, but we're gonna see. I guess before we start, my guess, there's a lot of tutors in this set, and they seem to be open pretty easily. I'm gonna guess we get 8 total. Let's see if I can even open this pack. There we go. But that's my prediction. Let's see. And I'm not gonna know any of the prices of these right off the bat. I'll put them in the video as I edit it, but keep in mind that prices like this change very quickly with a new set release like this, and especially with different alternate arts and stuff. So we've got a Chainer. Ooh, a Retro Yawgmoth. That has to be a good hit. Very nice. Windborn Muse. Tana. I'll go slow through these first few packs until we start seeing repeating cards, but Retro. Undead Gladiator. Storm Entity. So looks like this actually differs from most of the collector boosters we've been opening. All the foil commons and uncommons are in the back. I don't know if there'll be a rare in the back here or not. Grape Shot. Goblin Medic. Definitely seemed to be, I think there was a lot of Goblin cards in this set. Which that makes sense, given that that was one of the earliest tribes. Okay, that Retro Yawgmoth, I think was definitely made that a good first pack. Obviously, the very best card to get right now is Force of Will. There's a pull tab. Okay, and our second Chainer. Oh, alternate art, Birds of Paradise. Gemstone Mine. Retro version. Foil Sulphur Falls. Ovenize. I have never heard of this card. Second Ovenize. I've heard of it now. Oh, Retro Swords to Plowshares. I like the old art better, but still a cool card. Flash Reaver. Let's see. Snap. Lightning Reflexes. Bobcat, second empty. Okay, do this the right way with the pull tab. Okay. Stroke of Genius. Test of Endurance. It's a mythic. That's another card I've never seen before. Man, that is our third Chainer. 3 packs in a row. Looks like we've got full art, Foil full art, now retro frame. Absorb. Rada. Goblin Matron. Terror. Plains. High Tide. Dread Return. Not a bad card. Ichor Slick. Okay, so that's 3 packs down and 0 tutors, so we are very far off from my prediction right now. Or at least definitely not on track. Lieutenant Kurtar. Ooh, Vampiric Tutor. Well, that was good timing. Borderless Vampiric Tutor. Ooh, foil retro Mindstone. Retro Fire Blast. Retro Ornithopter. I actually bought several of the original Ornithopters for a ninja deck. Actually, I like the retro frame on artifacts especially. Terminal Moraine. Pacifism. Polluted Mire. Hermetic Study. Okay, 1 tutor down, 7 to go. Actually, I'd just take a Force of Will, I think, over any of that. Denizen of the Deep. Oh, I thought I saw a second Denizen sitting right behind it. Okay, 2 of those. Retro Shivan Dragon. Hinterland Harbor. Oh, foil retro Factor Fiction. Savannah Lions. Trainer's Edict. Actually, this is one of the better uncommons. I think TCG Player actually put out an article. I think it was them that had the top 10, I think, most desired uncommons, and this was on the list. I think it was $5 or $10 just on its own in the retro frame. Junk. Congregate. Spark Spray. Urborg. Keldoron. Gargoyle. Cackling Fiend. Cleric. Okay. Retro Sulphur Falls. Siege Gang Commander. One of my favorite goblins. Nantuko Shade. World Gorger Dragon. Another White Mane. Wild Dogs. Impulse. Tatiova. And nothing else. Opposition, retro foil. Arborea. What is this card? Huh. It's kind of interesting to see World Enchantment. That must have been what they typically called enchantments back in the first few sets. Actually, not sure. Phantom Neshoba. Rith the Awakener. One of the Elder Dragons. Wild Growth. Thran Golem. Street Wraith. This was another one of those top 10 commons / uncommons. So Street Wraith and the retro's pretty good. Plains, Tormod Crypt, land, and commons. Overmaster. Mystical Tutor. Okay, so that is Tutor number 2, right? I should be setting those aside so we can count easily. Nice retro woodland cemetery. I always like the retro brown frames on cards like that. Kind of has like a wood look, so it just kind of goes well with the card. Maze of Ith, very nice. Goblin Matron. Retro Mindstone, that looks good. Like I said, artifacts in retro style just have a nice look to them because artifacts are like old things, and that retro frame just makes it look old, so it just kind of fits the flavor of the card. Wormfang Drake, Oven Eyes, and other junk. Yeah, we are not going to be hitting those 8 tutors. I've seen some people get packs with double tutor, but I don't think that's going to be me today. Helm of Awakening. Nut Collector. Half expected that to be a squirrel. Oh, it creates squirrels. Yep. Stroke of Genius. Foil Grim Lavamancer. Terror. Non-artifact, non-black creature. Retro Factor Fiction. Lull. Plains. And a foil Mindstone. Bad. Actually was Elvish Visionary, I know, is another one of those good commons. Thought I saw one in the back for a second. Oversold Cemetery. Neat looking card. I think the foil washes out the picture a little bit, but interesting card. Borderless Grim Lavamancer. Retro Wrath of God. Triskelion. Recoil. Another Frantic Search. Dark Withering. Elvish Spirit Guide. There we go. Good uncommon hit. I'm not sure if the foil is probably cheaper than the retro version if I had to guess. So maybe not as good as it could be. All right, only 2 packs left. Man, I was way too optimistic about the foils, or the tutors, I mean. Gamble, okay. Every time I say that, we get a tutor, so there's a third one. Triskelion. Absorb. Oh, and Tomb. I actually almost considering this a tutor, and it kind of is, but I looked up the price, and the Dominaria Remastered ones were like $8 or so, so I didn't think it fell into the same category as the main 5, but we're gonna add it to the pile and cheat a little bit just to try to get to that 8. I don't think it's gonna get us there, but gotta try. Duress. Thrangoleum. Oop, and a foil counterspell. All right, last pack. Treat me well. Absorb. The blue tricked me for a second. For a split second, I thought it was Force of Will. Time Stretch. 2 extra turns. Pretty expensive. Helm of Awakening. Sulkanar the Swamp King. Juggernaut, Icy Manipulator, Momentary Blink, and that is all. All right, well, I missed the Tutor target by half. And that's with counting Entomb, so I was way off on that. Okay, so I looked up all the prices, not of every card. Basically, here's what my method was. I looked up the most valuable cards, so all the cards that are like $3 plus, and that's pretty much this group right here. And then I took all the rares and more desirable uncommons and basically just call them an average of $1.20 a piece, which is a little bit high, especially since, like, if you were to sell it, that's not factoring in selling costs or shipping or anything. So it's a little bit of a high estimate, but in total, I got $159. And these booster boxes are retailing right now for around $280 to $300. The prices have been moving up in the recent days. So definitely a mediocre box. And these kind of reprint sets are always kind of difficult because really the people that buy the packs are not the ones that are getting value, really. Because the packs themselves result in all of those previously valuable cards going down in price. And so if the market somewhat prices the boxes based on what the current prices of cards are, then of course it's going to be a little bit high. And then as the supply hits the market, all those cards that were previously expensive, they start to normalize at a lower cost. And I mean, you can get lucky if you get like an alternate art version of something that's unique to the reprint set. But really, I guess the people that benefit are the people who they were wanting to buy a Vampiric Tutor, but they were holding off because it was $50 or $60. Now it's $30. So the people that are sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy certain cards out of these sets, they benefit because now they can go get those cards at a cheaper price. But opening these boxes, really, I was kind of underwhelmed by it. The set overall, it's kind of a good, like, just 30-year anniversary set in a way because it just has cards all throughout history, or all throughout Magic's history, that, you know, took place on Dominaria. It doesn't really have, like, a cohesive flavor to the set or art style. It's just kind of a little bit of everything, which works fine for, like, a 30th anniversary type of deal. But it to me, it wasn't, I guess, as interesting to open as something like, say, Kamigawa or Ikoria that's more focused in its theme. But really, that's not why people are buying these cards. This is mostly partly to celebrate the history of Magic, but it's also to reprint a lot of these cards that are needed for playability, and so that those basically go down in price. But this is launch day for the set, so, you know, even though all these cards kind of got cut in half in terms of value, usually cards that stay playable throughout the years, they tend to go back up in value. So the set will probably still remain very valuable in the future. I'm certain that players everywhere are very happy that this set exists. I would just say if you're more of the collector type, I would say use caution. I will actually make a video here in the near future talking about some of my philosophies on choosing what sort of cards to collect or which ones are going to hold their value. But I'd say this is a set that will have a few gems, but overall probably isn't much for the collector market. But yeah, anyway, it was interesting to open, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned a little bit, and I will see you next time.